Hey guys, today I will be discussing the most likely strategies that Joe Biden could use to win the 2020 election. So on this electoral map here, I filled in the states that went to Donald Trump in 2016, and in blue I have the states that went to Hillary Clinton. Now this whole map is based on the fact that Joe Biden will probably win all the states that Hillary Clinton won in 2016 and more. As Joe Biden is a much more popular candidate than Hillary Clinton was, I will assume that Joe Biden will win at least 232 of Clinton's electoral votes from 2016. So now in yellow, I will be filling in the states that are what I would say are most vulnerable for President Trump. So these are the Rust Belt states that he won by less than 1%. The state of Ohio, Iowa, Arizona, Texas, Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina. And surprisingly, although Trump won all of these states in 2016, the only one of these states in which Trump is actually leading in the polling at the moment is the state of Texas, where he leads by less than 0.5%. So, if I use polling data right now, Joe Biden would win every single one of these battleground states except for Texas, and he would win 373 electoral votes. However, that is not too likely, even though he is leading. So, the easiest way, I think, for Biden to win in 2020 is if he won the three Rust Belt states that Trump won by less than 1%, these being the states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And I don't think these states are too hard to flip, because all of these states have gone to a Democrat for over 20 years before Donald Trump flipped them narrowly. He won the state of Michigan by 11,000 votes, the state of Wisconsin by 0.7, as well as the state of Pennsylvania. And I think Hillary Clinton lost these states because she totally neglected them. She took these states for granted, and Trump was able to pick up surprising victories in all three of them, but however very narrowly. So if Biden was to pay attention to these states and win them over again, like he did with Barack Obama both times, he would win the election. Now, instead of Wisconsin, this state went to Donald Trump by relatively the most compared to the other ones. So if he were to lose the state of Wisconsin, I could see Joe Biden winning the state of Arizona as well, and that would make up for Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes. Arizona has gone to a Republican since the year 2000. However, currently Biden leads in the state by almost 5% according to polling data at the moment. So he definitely does have a chance of flipping the state of Arizona as well. Now next we have what I call the Southern strategy here. This is if Joe Biden were to win the state of Florida, as well as basically any other state. If he won the state of Georgia or North Carolina. I think if he were to win Georgia and North Carolina, I think almost all of these swing states would flip Democrat, as he only leads by 1.9% in North Carolina and 1.3% in Georgia. So this is a really good sign for the Biden campaign. However, these are all pretty strong Republican states historically. So if Joe Biden were to win Florida, he would basically, I think, we would just call the election for him on election night, as all he would need to do is win any other swing state except for the state of Iowa. If he were to win Arizona, he would win by 272. If he were to win Georgia, he would win by 277. This map is just looking very good for the vice president. Next is if he were to win the state of Texas. There's been lots of talk about Texas turning purple in 2020 because of Trump's unpopularity there at the moment. This state actually went to Trump by 9% in 2016. However, at the moment, he barely leads the state by less than 0.5%. So Trump and Vice President Biden are basically in a tie in the state of Texas. So if Biden were to win Texas, he would win the election. And I think if he were to flip the state of Texas, the reddest state in all of Trump's most vulnerable states, I think he would win, every single swing state. And if he were to do this, he would win over 400 electoral votes. Now, I think that it's become more and more likely that the Democrats will win Texas. However, I'm not confident in that. I think that it's basically a toss-up at this point, even though Trump had such a big victory in the state 4 years ago. Now, the two states we haven't talked about are the states of Iowa and Ohio. These states are both in the Biden column at the moment. Iowa, Biden leads by less than 0.5%. In Ohio, in the state of Ohio, Biden surprisingly leads by over 2%, considering the fact that Trump won the state by over 9.5% in 2016. So if he were to win Ohio, and Iowa, all he would need is just another Rust Belt state. Let's take Michigan, or if you want his home state of Pennsylvania. So, yeah, as you can see, but there are many, many possible pathways, realistic pathways for Joe Biden to win the election. Now, this is what I think is the most likely outcome for the election. I think Joe Biden will be able to flip Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, as well as Florida. I think Trump will, even though he's barely leads in the state, I think he will still take Texas, as well as the state of Georgia. I think he will take Iowa. However, in these three states, Wisconsin, Ohio, and North Carolina, I could see, these states going to either candidate. However, I do think Joe Biden will win the election. At the moment, he currently leads by almost 10% in national polling, and he basically leads in every single state that actually matters except for Texas. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.